A wise man once said that behind every rumor there is a truth. And currently, behind the corridors of power, the rumor is that there is or there was a potential coup. Raila Odinga cited that he saved President William Ruto from a potential coup. But now, the rumors did not just end there. When the discussions about a coup attempt in government reached the Senate, then it means that indeed the rumors are true. Because not only did Raila speak of a coup, Edwin Sifuna, the Senator of Nairobi, spoke of a coup.
Regarding the very possibility of this country being handed over to the military in the event the regime collapsed in July of 2024.
And that is the time our Kenyan military people, personnel, our brothers and sisters will give a hand to help us from virtual breakdown. And
my party leader has addressed certain possibilities given histories in other places including Sudan and Egypt. What in your view, or in the view of the ministry, was inaccurate in the report by the Daily Nation regarding the very possibility of this country being handed over to the military in the event the regime collapsed in July of 2024?
Boni Khalwale, the Senator of Kakamega, also spoke about a coup.
Minister, once the forces are deployed, what self-propelling mechanism has the National Security Council put in place to ensure that once they are deployed, they do not roll into taking over government?
Ladies and gentlemen, why are rumors of a coup rising up right now in Kenya? You know, right now in Africa, in the western side of Africa, the coup is what has changed those nations. The army taking over government from presidents who don't seem to have the interest of people in heart seem to please a lot of Africans, as many Africans tend to appreciate the leadership of army individuals rather than of a personal individual. But why? As we know very well, the army is the most disciplined entity in any nation. From their trainings, the army personnel, all they are taught is about discipline and honesty. That is why when you go to countries like Mali, when you go to countries like Niger, where their governments have been overthrown by the army, you will see the army or the general in charge as the president is really trying to change the country's narrative of leadership. For example, let's begin with Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore has transformed his country. Ibrahim Traore is building schools. Ibrahim Traore has also suggested a visa-free country of Burkina Faso, where if you want to enter Burkina Faso and you're an African, you don't need a visa. Remember, Africa is one of the continents with a lot of visa requirements for you to travel from one nation to another. According to Burkina Faso's president Ibrahim Traore, we should live in a continent where you don't need a visa to travel from one place to another, but Africans should be allowed to travel within their continent with a lot of freedom for them to explore and see how their business is being carried out, because Africa is our business and it is our way to run the business. So Burkina Faso is on its way to making that nation a visa-free country. Now, let's come to Kenya. Amidst the rumors that there is an attempted coup on Kenya Kwanza government, the Defense Minister Soipan Tuya also confirmed that indeed there is a coup. And he did this through exposing a number of fake generals, as per her saying.
To the extent that the article referred to a military coup, I can only say that it is indeed baseless. It is inaccurate and reckless. But allow me to go to question 2, which is asking on what the modalities for involvement of KDF in internal security matters is. Mr. Speaker, aside from the provisions of the Constitution, we have the Kenya Defence Forces Act, which elaborately enumerates requirements for KDF participation in internal security operations. Under the Constitution, the KDF is strictly bound by the principles of national security as defined under Article 238 of the Constitution, which is they have to be subject to the authority of the Constitution and Parliament, and that the national security activities must be carried in strict compliance with the law and with utmost respect for the rule of law, and that in performance of its functions and exercise of their powers, the KDF shall respect the diverse culture of the communities within Kenya. Sometime late last year, we got a fully fledged notification of recruitment with all the logos of the KDF and the ministry published out there, and we had no such recruitment going on. So we have fraudsters out there who dupe Kenyans into believing that actually we have Kenyans masquerading as generals out there with full uniform, full ranks, and the likes. With that said, Mr. Speaker, I cannot also say that there are no challenges that we need to address with the system of recruitment. And I want to say that the Defense Council, which I chair, is currently working on a watertight system of recruitment, because the principles of national security that I mentioned, one of the key principles of national security is that the recruitment by the national security organs must reflect the diversity of the Kenyan people and must be in equitable proportions. We are working round the clock, and I know there is, without preempting, there is a question that has been raised on the same by this House, and when the time comes, I'll give details on the measures we are taking to seal the loopholes that do exist with our recruitment processes. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
But my question is, how will we have fake generals in the government who are able to generate documents with the original stamps of the KDF? The army is one of the most secretive entity in any continent or in any country. How are these fake generals able to carry out recruitments, able to generate documents with original seals of the army out in the public? If not, they are not being fed by someone inside that army. According to the knowledge I have, the army comes in when the citizens of the country have complained a lot. In Kenya, a lot of demonstrations have been taking place. Police brutality has been the norm of trying to curb demonstration. Not only that, but also at some point the president deployed the army to the street, which is unconstitutional to deploy an army when there is nothing but peaceful demonstrations in the country. If you check videos from that time, the army did not even engage the young people. What the army did, it protected the young people while on demonstrations. And that is how disciplined the army is. If it were the police, they could have tear gassed or beaten those young people. But the army is trained to be disciplined. Could Kenya's defense forces be getting tired by the way this government is running the business of this country? Could the Kenya Defense Forces be the key solution to solving problems in Kenya? If I could take you into Western Africa, countries like Mali and Niger, they have been able to complete their debts, not forgetting Burkina Faso. They have cut ties with their colonial masters, and they believe that they can run their countries by themselves. If you want to take part in the country's business, then you should be aligning with the norms of that country. But in Kenya, what we are doing is bidding to countries like United States of America, countries like United Kingdom, a country that colonized us. Is it time that military coups or military governance should take place to take our countries from the shackle of colonialism to the shackle of independence for us to run our countries the way it should be run? It's a question in my head, but it's a conversation I'll hold with someone who has a lot of knowledge on matters to do with military coups. According to me, I tend to believe that military coups could be the solution to Africa's problems. I don't know what is your thought, but you could leave me a thought in the comments section. But as per the rumors in the corridors of power in Kenya, a military coup might be breeding, even though the government is trying to push it under the table. My name is Muvali Derek. This has been The Politician's Diary. If it's the first time you're encountering this channel, kindly don't hesitate. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Also, don't forget to share this video and leave me a comment in the comment section. Have yourselves a lovely day.